Hi, welcome to section 9.3 titled Fractions, Decimals, and Percents. Hoping this one will be, this video will be a little quicker than the last one since it is a little bit more straightforward. The first example we're going to go over is writing a percent as a decimal. There are actually two methods. I will tell you offhand that I think this very first one is probably the easiest, but you have done the other one as well, but this one is probably the easiest. Method one, first, just use place value. First thing you do is remove the percent symbol. It disappears. Then we take the decimal place, and remember the decimal place is at the end of the number. If you don't see it, again, just because it's not there doesn't mean there isn't one. We just don't usually write it if it's a whole number here. So 30% becomes 30. We drop the percent symbol, and then we move the decimal place 2 places to the left. And our answer becomes 0.3. So 30%, we drop the percent symbol. Again, the decimal's to the right of the 0, and we move it 2 to the left. Now, if you have a percent that actually shows a decimal, you still start at the decimal and move 2 to the left after dropping the percent symbol. Say, for example, I had 30.6%. I would start at the point and move 2 to the left, and it would become 0.306. Okay, why don't you, here comes method two. We could take the percent, put it over 100, and divide. So it becomes a fraction, 16 over 100. Set it up as neato and turn it into a decimal. Again, knowing how much all of you love division, I'm guessing you're going to work or use method number one when converting percents to decimals. Okay, your turn. Remember, we drop the percent symbol and move the decimal 2 places to the left. Or we set it up over 100 and then use neato to convert to a decimal. The next concept in this chapter is taking a decimal and turning it into a percent. This one is very similar to method one. If you recall in lesson one, or in the first concept, method one, we took a percent, removed the percent sign, and moved 2 to the left. In this case, we're going to start at the decimal, move 2 places to the right, and add a percent symbol. So we start at the decimal, move 2 to the right, put our decimal there, and add a percent symbol. Okay? And in this case, we can drop the 0 that's in the ones place because it doesn't come into play. We wouldn't usually write something as 0.30%. Okay, so when converting decimals to percents, start at the decimal, move 2 to the right, place the decimal there, and add a percent symbol. All right, your turn. Again, remember, start at the decimal, move 2 to the right, and add a percent sign. And the last piece we're going to go over in this section or this chapter, writing fractions as percents. Again, this is something you have worked on before. Whenever we are calculating our scores on our quizzes or tests, I have always told you to use neato. So what do? Numerator inside, denominator outside. Okay, so we take 8/9, we put 8 under the division symbol, 9 on the outside. We divide and we get 0.8888, and it keeps repeating. Now that isn't a percent, but we just learned previously how can we take a decimal and turn it into a percent? We start at the decimal, move 2 places to the right, and add a percent symbol. So in this case, I went from 0.8888. I moved 2 to the right to get 88.8%, and then I dropped the last 8 and put a bar above it to show that it repeats. All right. Okay, your turn. Convert the following fractions to percents. Again, remember, this is just neato, which gives you a decimal. You then take the decimal, move 2 places to the right, and add a percent sign. That's it. That's a quick chapter or quick section in a chapter. Hopefully it makes sense. If you have any questions, be sure to come with them for tomorrow.